I was in the middle of work when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something in my gut said, pick up. Is this Cameron Martin? The voice asked. We've got something that belongs to you, a Rolex Submariner. My stomach dropped, because that watch was supposed to be locked in my desk drawer. I was halfway through a roofing estimate when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost sent it to voicemail, but my gut said, pick up. Hello? Hi. Is this Cameron Martin? The voice was low, scratchy. Yeah. Who's this? Frank, DeMarco's Pawn and Gold, Glendale. I believe I have something that belongs to you. I squinted, annoyed. What is it? A Rolex Submariner, stainless, black face. Inscription on the back, to Cam, love always, Dad. My stomach dropped. I spun around, yanked open my desk's bottom drawer where I kept it, wrapped in microfiber, tucked behind invoices. Gone. My chest burned, hands shaking. I forced myself to speak. Where'd you get it? A young guy came in yesterday. Said it was his. I already knew. Tanner. Frank kept going, this isn't something to explain over the phone. Come down here. I grabbed my keys, walked out. The guys in the office called after me, but I didn't hear. That watch was the only thing my dad left me when he died 3 years ago. No real estate, no life insurance, just the watch he wore every day. I remember his last time wearing it, 140 pounds, face sunken, skin gray from chemo, but eyes sharp. He took it off, hand trembling, and pressed it into my palm. This is yours, Cam. Don't let anyone take it from you. I should have kept it at home, in a safe. I should have known Tanner would pull this. Quick note, share which city or country you're watching from in the comments. Tanner was my mom's golden boy, her second husband's son. She married Gary when I was 23. Tanner moved in 2 months later. I got out. Now he'd crossed the line. I floored it to Glendale, gripping the wheel, picturing Tanner's smug face handing over my dad's watch like it was his to sell. He was about to learn different. DeMarco's was wedged between a payday loan place and a busted vape shop in a half-dead strip mall off Glendale Avenue. Metal bars on the windows, sign half-lit. I slammed my truck into park, marched in without shutting the door. Inside, it smelled of dust and old coins. Glass counter loaded with scratched watches, gold chains, knockoff designer junk. Frank stood behind it, thick neck, tanned, arms like he still moved crates. You Cam? He asked, voice like gravel. Yeah. He nodded, looked me in the eye. You look like your old man. Same jaw. My throat tightened. I didn't respond. Frank reached under the counter, pulled out a blue leather box, faded edges, gold trim worn thin. He popped the latch. There it was, Dad's Rolex, black dial, stainless case, bezel nicked at 2 o'clock from a kitchen remodel in Flagstaff. Inscription on the back, to Cam, love always, Dad. I clenched my jaw. Who brought it in? He hesitated. Kid named Tanner. Tall, blonde, early 20s. Claimed it was his dad's, left to him. My fists curled. He didn't look like you, Frank said. Didn't act like someone who earned a Rolex. Couldn't even pronounce Submariner. I raised an eyebrow. Looking? Frank pulled an old paper folder. Your dad ever mention pawning this watch? I shook my head. Never. He did. 16 years ago, around when you'd be starting trade school. Took a $3,500 loan, paid it off in 29 days. Cash. That stopped me cold. He handed me a photocopied ticket, Dad's name, same serial number, signed in his tight block letters. Guy paid on time. No haggling. Quiet but proud, Frank said. That watch meant something. I stared. He never said a word. Frank set the box on the counter. This belongs to you. No question. I lifted the watch, heart thudding, ran my thumb over the inscription. Frank cleared his throat. Found something else. Never seen this before, but I know what's weird. He pressed his pinky nail into a groove behind the clasp. A tiny latch popped. Inside, folded tight in a space barely big enough for a breath, was yellowed paper. He slid it out with tweezers, set it down like glass. I unfolded it. Dad's sharp, slanted, all-caps handwriting, CAM, if you're reading this, go to Safe Deposit Box 313 at Union First. Keys in my socket set behind the May 8th S. I swallowed hard. Frank gave me a second. Your old man planned ahead. Most hide weed in their watch. Yours hid instructions. I snorted despite myself. You good? He asked. Yeah, I said, pocketing the note, slipping the watch on. I'm good. He nodded. Kick that punk's ass for me. I turned to leave. Hey, Frank called. Tanner looked nervous. Didn't think he'd get caught. I pushed open the door, heat hitting my face. Oh, he's caught, I said. He just doesn't know it yet. I drove to Mom's in Sun City, fingers tapping the wheel, Rolex back where it belonged. Her garage was open, Gary's ridiculous golf cart blocking the walkway. I walked into the kitchen without knocking. They sat at the table, mid-morning coffee, littered with bank statements, envelopes, a legal pad with Tanner's name in red pen. Perfect. I dropped the Rolex on the table with a thunk. Lose something? Mom's eyes locked on it like it had fangs. Gary leaned back like I'd tossed a grenade. Where'd you get that? Gary asked, too fast. Reported stolen this morning, I said, voice low. Pawn shop called. Said Tanner sold it yesterday. Gary's mouth opened, closed. Mom looked slapped. Cam, she started, it's not what you think. I leaned over the table, hands flat. You pawned it for Tanner's dumbass app idea. She flinched. He needed help. Seed money. That watch was all Dad left me. You knew that. Tanner's trying to build something, she shouted. He's not stuck installing gutters, fixing drywall. I laughed, bitter. Because I don't play pretend CEO, I don't count? Gary jumped in, you've always been small time, Cam. Good guy, no ambition. Tanner's different. Different, I said, grabbing the watch. He stole from me. You backed it. Mom stood. You don't know what it's like watching one son stay stuck while another reaches for more. You mean watching one work his ass off while the other drains everyone? She glared. You never aimed higher. You settled. Tanner dreams big. And you funded his fantasy with $9 grand that wasn't yours, I said. I want it back. Every penny. Gary scoffed. We invested it. You can't prove a thing. I tossed a folded police report on their statements. Yeah, I can. Shop kept the sale record, footage, description, serial number, my name on the back. It's all there. Silence. I'm giving you a chance, I said. Wire me the money, I won't press charges. Mom's eyes rimmed red. Cam, don't. You'll ruin everything. He's close to launching. He launched into felony theft, I said. Gary crossed his arms. Call the cops. They won't care about a family squabble over a used watch. I already filed, I said. Silence stretched. I slipped the Rolex on, walked to the door. Cam, Mom called, voice cracking. You'd throw away your family over this? I paused, hand on the knob. You did that for me. I walked out. No slam, no yell. They knew what they did. I drove to Dad's old place, now a rental. The shed was still locked. I had the key. Dead grass, broken stepping stones, crooked fence post I never fixed. Inside the shed, motor oil, sawdust, rust. Under a blue tarp, Dad's red Craftsman toolbox, 3 drawers, heavy. I flipped the tarp, popped the top. Ratchet set on the left, sockets lined up. I pulled the 5/8s. There, taped behind, a brass key in wax paper, edges curled. The key he clipped to his belt loop when I was a kid. I drove to Union First, an old brick building with green shutters, behind law offices and a breakfast joint. Lobby stuck in the 80s, wood paneling, fake plants, crooked magazines. A woman in her 60s, silver hair in a bun, looked up. Can I help you? Access safe deposit box 313, under Russ Martin. I have the key. Russ Martin, she asked, voice softening. I remember him. Early, polite, wore work boots like dress shoes. I smiled. That's him. 10 minutes later, I was in a private room with a metal box. She left me alone. My hands shook as I turned the key. Inside, a manila envelope, a dusty black ledger, a sealed envelope with CAM in Sharpie. I opened the letter. Dad's handwriting hit like a freight train. Cam, if you're reading this, I guess I'm gone. But if this found you, you kept the watch safe and stayed true. The envelope holds bearer bonds, over $100,000. No names, no banks, no taxes. Cash them when ready. No one knows but me and now you. The ledger has invoices, jobs I finished, never paid for. Some bastards ran off during chemo. I didn't have energy to chase. This isn't just money. It's time to leave, build your own thing, breathe without someone taking a piece of you. You don't owe anyone your future, son. Not me, not your MOM, not family. Just do one thing, make it yours. Dad. I sat, holding the page like gold. The manila envelope held crisp bearer bonds. The ledger listed jobs, some marked, paid, some owed. One stood out, Reynolds and Bloom Construction, flooring job, $18,500, 6 months before his diagnosis. Dad left a paper trail, and I was going to follow it. I laid the ledger on my kitchen table, clearing receipts and drill bits. Every page was tight, job names, dates, materials, totals. Some I recognized from summer jobs with Dad. Others were new. Reynolds and Bloom, Commercial remodel in Mesa, $18,500 due, highlighted, circled, underlined, no pay, no callback, in all caps. I searched them, still active, same logo, now doing Scottsdale luxury remodels. I photographed every page, estimate, invoice, receipts, labor costs. His handwriting ached. Next morning, I met Carla Martin, a lawyer Mitch recommended. Her office was above a car insurance place, no nonsense. Jeans, navy blazer, eyes that sized me up. "You're the guy with the contractor ledger?" I nodded, handed it over. She flipped through, smiling crookedly. "Tell me you have photos." "I do." "Scan it yet?" "Not yet." "Do it today. Keep originals safe. This is gold." She pointed, full invoice, signatures, materials. Airtight. Most guys give me a text and a receipt. This? We've got leverage. She hit the Reynolds and Bloom section. $18,500 unpaid. Dated, signed, no disputes. They thought the debt died with your dad. But it didn't, I said. Nope, she said. What's next? Liquidate the bonds first. I've got a contact, quiet, fast, no probate. For the invoices, give me 60 days. They won't see me coming. They're active, doing big jobs, I said. Even better. They won't want a lien in a client search. I exhaled. He kept everything. Your dad was smart, she said. Most in his position couldn't afford to be. She handed me a folder. Sign the top page. I'll file demands by Friday. I signed. She called after me. Ever think about going after the others in the book? One at a time, I said. Good, she said. You've got a head start. I pulled into Mom's driveway at 7 a.m., truck bed half full, tools, clothes, an old crockpot. I wasn't planning to talk, just grab my stuff. She stood in the doorway, arms crossed, fake calm. You really doing this? I walked past, into the guest room I'd slept in for 6 months. Grabbed a duffel, dumped dresser contents into a tote. This is about the watch, she said, blocking the door. Throwing away your family over metal. It wasn't just a watch, Mom. You know that. Gary sat at the kitchen table, pretending to read the paper, a statue in cargo shorts. I loaded the tote, slammed the tailgate. Tanner strolled from the side of the house, grinning. Hey, man, Mom said you're moving out. Wild. I said nothing. Look, things got tense, but once the app launches, I'll make it right. You'll be glad you were part of it. I want the $9,000 back, with interest, I said. He laughed. When I make it big, I'll Venmo you from my penthouse. I stepped closer. I reported the theft. Your name's on file. His grin slid off. What? You pawned stolen property. Shop gave me footage, receipt, ID. It's with the police. Mom rushed down the steps. Cam, don't ruin his life over a mistake. He had no problem screwing up mine, I said. You helped. We're your family, she said. You made your choice. Now I'm making mine. Gary stood. You think your father would be proud, walking away? He'd be proud I stood the hell up, I said, climbing into the truck. I pulled out. They didn't follow, wave, or apologize, just watched me leave like they couldn't believe I'd stopped letting them walk over me. At the bank, Carla had everything ready, 2 signatures, 3 forms, a guy in a tucked-in golf shirt. Bonds cashed, $119,000, clean, untaxed. I sat in my truck, door open, staring at the receipt. Dad planned this, knew I'd need a way out. Carla moved fast on the invoices. 7 weeks, formal demands to every name in the ledger with a working address. Most ignored her. Then she hit Reynolds and Bloom with a lean threat, copying their biggest client, attaching ledger pages. They folded in 4 days, $18,500 wired, no apology, just a receipt email. Another $19,000 came from smaller jobs, $2,000 here, $5,000 there. Total, $37,000. 5 cases still pending. I told her to keep going. Tanner's app tanked. He blew the Rolex money on a rented Chandler office, a $6,000 logo, a promo video with stock footage and a fake British voiceover. No prototype, no back-end, just a wireframe and a Chief Visionary Officer business card. Instagram went dead, website redirected to a parked domain. 2 months later, Gary called while I was at Lowe's. Cam, can you help with a short-term bridge loan? I hung up. A week later, Mom emailed, we need to talk. A long paragraph blamed me for dividing the family, said Tanner was under pressure, I made it worse with the cops. You could have handled this quietly, like family. I attached the police report with Tanner's name highlighted and hit send. Silence since. Let them sit in their mess. I was done paying for their dreams. I bought a single-story ranch, 2 bedrooms, big garage, for blocks from Dad's old place. Needed vision, the seller said. I said it needed someone who knew a level. Moved in on a Tuesday, brought Dad's toolbox, parked it in the garage. Sockets still lined up, 5/8s with tape's faint outline. I left it. The Rolex stayed on my nightstand. Some nights, I'd open the hidden panel, reread Dad's note to be sure I didn't dream it. You don't owe anyone your future. I fixed the roof, wiring, kitchen, did it myself. Donated a chunk to the local trade school, from a guy who believed in second chances. I printed flyers, got a burner phone, started handyman jobs, toilets, drywall, ceiling fans, door repairs. Honest labor, fair prices. Work spread, calls, texts, referrals. Steady, mine. Sometimes, someone spotted the Rolex under my sleeve, fixing something. Nice watch. I'd smile, old family thing. No explanations owed. Dad didn't just leave a watch. He left time to get out, reset, figure what mattered. Now I know what to do with it. I won't waste it on people who think they're owed my life. The house is quiet, not empty. Some mornings, in the garage tightening bolts or sanding a door, I swear I hear Dad's boots scuffing the concrete, checking my work. I wear the watch most days now, not for style, but because I understand what it meant when he gave it to me. I've got time. And it's mine again. Thank you for staying with this story. If it hit home, stirred something, or made you think, do me a favor, like this video to reach more people, share it with someone who needs it, and drop a comment with your city or country, your thoughts, or what you'd do in my shoes. Subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Your support keeps these stories alive.